Video is live. I guess video's recording, not live. Take difference, right? Shit, did we forget to do the thing? Blaise, you're hosting.
Oh, sick. That's what I was getting ready to ask. Oh,
we don't have
yes.
Our set lead host isn't here.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
You're good. I'm chilling. We're hanging out.
Welcome, challengers, to another episode of Battlegrounds, a Gods a Smite podcast.
I didn't get her name right. Battlegrounds.
Look, man, you just told me 2 seconds ago. So, all right.
I'm not gonna lie. I think last time I hosted, I said the same exact thing, and y'all gave me shit. So I'm gonna have to just fucking slow your roll right there.
I wasn't part of that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're gonna get hit with the same wiffle ball bat like I did.
Well, with me today, we have Fro. Fro, how's it going, man?
You're such a fucker. You can see I was taking a drink.
I did. Yeah, 100%.
Hi, I'm here. I'm Pro.
And our special guest today is we have BloopFruit. BloopFruit, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm really, really tired. We're on day 4 of stream adventures, and I just have not had a lot of really good sleep. So we're here, but I'm excited to be here, and I thank you guys for having me on here.
Of course. I guess I should ask this before we started recording. Do you prefer Bloop or BloopFruit?
BloopFruit, Luna is what a lot of people call me by. Yeah, Bloop's good. Bloop's good.
Okay, no, I was just curious because I know for me, people see Blaise McBain, they'll be like, "Is it okay if I call you Blaise?" I'm like, "I don't care, man."
Yeah, it's
totally okay.
I don't really matter. I don't really care either. It doesn't really matter to me.
And call him Blaise McDaddy. Noted.
This is true. I actually did name a character that in Lost Ark thanks to Riggs and Depp. So that doesn't lead to any questions whatsoever from people at all. At all. But Bloop, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and where we can find you and all that good stuff?
God, you need to copy Depp. His thing, who you are and what you do. It's just it's straight and to the point. That's why he hasn't changed.
Well, yeah. So, for anyone listening in, hi, I'm BloopFruit. I am, God. This question, you see, the question itself is really easy, but then when you're put on the spot, you're like, oh God, I don't know what to say because I'm nervous. I'm BloopFruit. I am an openly trans Smite and horror game streamer on Twitch. I use she, they pronouns, and yeah, I would say you can always check me out on Twitch. You just look up BloopFruit, and that's BLOOP and then fruit. And then most of my socials, yeah. Exactly. And most of my socials, all my socials, I think, are also the same. So they're either BloopFruit or BloopFruit TV. And yeah, I make it pretty easy to find me.
I appreciate you spelt it out that way for the, not as intelligent folks that think bloop and then do some weird stuff,
BL00. No,
yeah,
we don't do that. We got the O's. We got the alphabetic language.
Yeah,
we got it all there.
It almost like that one idiot who called himself Black Eye instead of just Black Eye. Fucking. What a dumb
no.
Oh my.
What?
You know what's funny, Fro? Is when I say Black Eye, people get mad at me.
It's Black Eye.
I know
it actually is. He will correct you if you say Black Eye. It's Black Eye.
I am well aware.
I'm not sure.
Just saying, people.
I'm pretty sure it was originally supposed to be Black Eye, right? But then he's like, "Nah, I'm running with this."
Yeah.
I mean, it's iconic, so if it works, it works.
Yeah. The way of the road. I know I've had some people legitimately be upset, and I'm like, you need to calm down. You're gonna be okay.
Have you just pulled out that? Well, I've actually interviewed the guy. What about you?
Well, I wasn't there for that, so no, because that wouldn't. But I guess I could still do that.
Reword it. No. See, what you gotta do is you gotta do a little bit of that corporate twisting. He's been on my podcast before. How about yours?
Yeah.
I think I know how to call. I think I know his name. And then, they're not gonna go check if you were on that fucking episode. The most they'll do is look and be like, "Shit, yeah, guys entered the battleground." Well, that's the title we always put when we have a guest.
Fro doesn't complain with that though.
Hold up.
Huh?
Joins us on the battleground.
It's been both. I never had one, so I couldn't tell you when I was a guest.
It should be copy paste. It should not be both.
Look,
Who
Fro.
fucked up?
Fro, here's the deal. The first time I was a guest,
God damn it!
I was the only one that hadn't had my name in the title, which I thought was funny. Like, I enjoyed that. And I remember you guys asked me, like, is it okay if we do that? I think it was for Boom. And I was like, I don't care, man. Like, I don't know.
Wait. Well, okay. Hold. It's because you came on as a pair and not necessarily as a guest. I mean, it wasn't.
Oh, that's true.
You came on as a listener when we had our listener takeover. That's a bit different. You guys have always been here on the Battleground with us.
I think it's
joined us.
I'm gonna go look. I think it's enters the Battleground. This is great for us. We're really looking.
I think it really is.
We're really looking smart.
The worst part is all of the listeners are already seen the title and be like, "You guys are fucking stupid."
It's joins.
This is like joins.
Yeah, but now I'm scrolling because I swear there is one that's enters the Battlegrounds or something.
I've actually been scrolling, looking at them too, and I'm like, I wonder.
I don't say, because if I remember, the only one as far as a guest coming on is Boom defeats Frieza. Like, that was the exception. Because we went places with that one. We went places when BMT came on. We entered, like, some not safe for work. I would say, like, Rule 34, but it's like, it was more, like, not even, like, because Rule 34 is, like, you choose to look some of this stuff up. This is stuff, like, your friends send you that, like, hey, you, like, open, like, you motherfucker.
Oh, dang.
I'm still
like
scrolling.
One meme I saw about
convinced.
how if you, like, prepare wheat in a certain way, the flour will cause your discoloring, blah, 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 blah. And, like, the whole thing is, like, it leads you to believe and, like, almost tricks you into searching, like, you need to look up blue waffle. And it's like, oh, you got me. You almost got me. Because I forget how it worded. It's something like, it'll make your pancakes and other whatever you use with the flour have a bluish green hint to it. So it's like, or a greenish blue. That's what it is. So it led with the green. So I'm like, oh, okay, what's it? And I literally had it typed out where I'm like, green, blue, pancake, and I saw like the correction underneath it for blue waffle, and I'm like, not doing it.
All right, Fro. There is one other guest that I've found so far that doesn't have joins and it doesn't have enters. Their name starts with a B. Would you like to guess who it is?
Yakai?
No.
Oh, you had to go back a while.
Yeah.
Is it Bright? Bright would be under the same thing. No. It starts with B. Fuck. Oh, Boom.
No.
BMT. BMT's a crew.
Blaise Bard. The name of that episode is just Blaise Bard. Interesting times of the day. I don't know. All the rest of them do say joins.
Really?
I swear. Yeah, the episode 148.
I feel like that was probably a typo. They just never got caught.
Probably because in the description it says Blaise Bard joins the Battleground, but it's the episode title. I really thought there was one that says enters though, but here we are. It is what it is.
This is horrible and not very good hosting. Not like hosting podcast, but like hosting a guest. We should probably get back to the guest we have here currently instead of reminiscing of
reminisce away. I'm enjoying. I'm learning. I'm getting the backstory, the character history.
We have multiple people who do uploading and editing, and I think all of them are dumb from time to time, including myself, especially fucking including.
I think we're all dumb from time to time. I think that's the thing that happens.
Yeah. That's the human nature. Just a bunch of silly days.
Yeah, we upload it to the internet to see. That's like the scary
My dog, he's just chilling back there. He's lounging.
There's 2 doggos. I only saw the one.
Yeah. Okay. I could talk a little about them if you want.
Yeah, what are their names?
Okay, so this one, the big guy, this is Valentine, the comfy boy. He is my 3-year-old Saint Bernard puppy. And he just likes attention all the time. Like, he'll do anything for attention. And then the one that is looking like she's in a 2000s like heartbreak music video, that is my golden retriever Finley. She's 4 and going places right now. But yeah,
All I
they're
can say about myself.
no, I love them. They're great.
My doggo just turned 12 this week.
Oh wow,
Yeah, he's
The dog is
vibing.
fucking huge.
he's massive. He's over 100 pounds. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll just like lay on him like a pillow. I will. He's very
Now-
comfy.
Now he is taking the position of looking out the window. He's like, all right, I got to know what's out there. That's awesome. But speaking of what's out there, how were games this week, Fro, in the Battlegrounds?
I played so much Smite.
Oh, no.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no.
I'm sorry. There's a reason why we're recording on a Monday. And
True.
that's because Fro has been on overtime. Because Jeffrey Bezos just wants all the money. So
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been on overtime for like 3 months, actually. A lot of it was voluntary. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to take like a week or two break before we get to Prime Week. Then they called overtime early for Prime Week, and they keep calling overtime. So it's been like 3 months of overtime. Yeah, so I didn't play much Smite last week. I ended up taking a mental health day on Wednesday because it was needed. Like, so one of the ones, I'm sure you guys can relate to this. You sit down, OBS open, Smite's open, everything's good, volume checks are done. And fuck it, I'm just not feeling like streaming today. Shut everything back now. I did. I got everything ready, and I was just like, no, can't do it. But I did some streaming yesterday. That was nice. Played some cooldowns. RNGesus was a cruel bastard. Dude, we like at one point had like an afro and a Kepri on the enemy team. Like, yeah, it like was ridiculous. Like,
That sounds miserable.
It was miserable. It really, really was. And we kept running into the same people. Like, we ran into another Fro. There's a person, X.
Oh.
I run into him quite often on Sundays. I really do. I ran into a bunch yesterday. Although he was acting fucking weird. Like, I don't know if he had like some fucking boner for me that he like normally doesn't, but like the dude was being weird. Like, you know what I mean? When it's people like, all right, dude, like what? Like,
yeah,
you can tell they're obviously coming for you, but it's like making dumb plays to do it. I'm like, okay. I think part of it was because like the first match I was Hades, and then he was Kurtanos in cooldowns, and I just couldn't fucking get close, right? Like, literally by the time I do my silence 3, I got crit 3 times and I'm dead. That didn't fucking feel good at all, ever. And they had an Artemis too, that Artemis was a fucking monster.
Yeah, in cooldowns, that is not a fun time.
No. Especially like literally when she could fucking Tusky you, and she was able to follow Tusky around at one point and pick up a triple. Like, by the time, it's like Tusky's got that like slight pause, in that time she was like able to just boop boop, you die, boop boop, you die. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, so that wasn't very fun. But then I ran into another person who I run into quite a bit named Yeeted Deleted. Yeah, Yeeted Deleted.
Yeetus. Okay, I was gonna say there is a Yeetus Deletus too, because I've seen them.
There's a Yeetus Deletus, yeah, but no, this is Yeeted Deleted. Ran into him a few times. And then we end up we had a 4-man. Had some people join me, and we just had a Randozo on a fucking Charon, right? Charon, and playing really well, and was like really cool and all that. It was nice in VGS, so I was like, fuck it, sent him an invite, made a new friend. Yeah,
feels good.
That's pretty much my week of Smite. It was really just cool down, but also started playing Elder Scrolls Online. By the way, everyone, right now it's free on Epic. Want it? Free right now.
Good game.
I've never played.
It's free. You should download it. It's been fun so far. I'm like level 7.
So everyone's been talking about Diablo, right? And I have like never played any sort of like types of those like dungeon crawlers, like top-down games, but I've been thinking about it.
I
And
have a
there's
lot
just
of
too many
hours
games. There's just too many
in that
games right
game.
now.
Like, well, Diablo and Elder Scrolls are not even close to the same.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
My point in bringing that up was that there's just so many games out there right now that I'm like, I don't have the time for it all right now.
Yeah.
But I might have
but
to check it out for sure.
Just on Epic, all you have to do is, because it's for its weekly free thing game that they give away, right? You just hop in there, you purchase it for $0, and it just adds it to your library. And then you can come back and just because they'll never take it back. It's free. It's not like a PlayStation Plus subscription or anything like that. You just fucking have it for free. Like I've had Grand Theft Auto 5 for like 2.5 years, and I have yet to ever play Grand Theft Auto 5. Which I know is a crazy statement. A lot of people are like, why haven't you played it? But it's because at this point, like, I kind of want someone to play with, and I don't know anyone who plays the game anymore.
Yeah.
I can
make you feel better, Fro. I've played Grand Theft Auto, like, between all of them that have ever been released, like, maybe a total of 1 hour. Like, it's just not something I'm enjoying. It's just not something I've been able to dabble in and enjoy.
I've been playing Grand Theft. The only one I haven't played is Grand Theft Auto 2. Okay, let me rephrase that. The only one I haven't played is 2, and the only one I haven't beat is 1.
Gotcha.
Like, I've played the rest of them, like, a bunch. I was like the perfect edgelordy age for that stuff. But I actually, like, I know a lot of people just drove around. I actually played the game. Like, the missions and shit like that. Like, I did the missions. Not to mention, on Xbox, which I was an Xbox person. A lot of people were surprised I was not a Sony person up until PlayStation 3. I was an Xbox lad. Or PlayStation 4. PlayStation
I'm
3,
still not a Sony person.
I'm not anymore. I've decided PC now. But I was an Xbox person, hardcore. And on the original Xbox, on Vice City, I do believe, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, you could play your music through the car radio that you had downloaded on your Xbox.
Oh, okay.
I had a shit ton of downloaded music, and my buddy had a perfectly legal hacked opened up one with also perfectly legally acquired music, like a shit ton of it on his also perfectly legal like hard drive thing. The dude, like, back in the day had like a terabyte fucking hard drive that he attached to a fucking original Xbox, and it had like built-in games. It had its own library.
That's
I was gonna say, I remember that being like a selling point when I worked at game stores back in the day. Like, you could play your own music in this game, and they're like, "Wait, what?" Like, yeah, you have it on Xbox. That's a thing.
Yeah, especially when we had a shit ton of our own music on the Xbox. It was dope.
True. Now we have Spotify. It's all there all the time.
I love Spotify. Spotify owes my wallet. They just own it.
Yeah.
I don't like Spotify.
I've tried Apple Music because I had like a free trial of it. Their audio quality is really, really good. But it's just more expensive, and I don't know about that. Like, the last thing I need is another subscription. That's the thing.
So I have YouTube Plus or YouTube Premium. And it's not as good for music because it gets you put in the same like loop quite a bit, right? And it's hard to actually like get new fucking music exposure. But dude, I fucking hate Spotify. I don't have Spotify. Like, I didn't pay for it, right? Every other song it interrupts. Like, there was one time where I was listening to a fucking song, right? I went to go skip to the next song. It played an ad. Right after that song, it played an ad. I didn't like the song it played after that, so I skipped that. It played another ad. I'm like, I have gotten like a song plus like 10 seconds, and I've literally been given 4 fucking ads. What the fuck's going on? I'm sorry, not 4 ads, because they'll hit you with the double ads. It's the 4 times of being ads shown to me. Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. And I had that happen all the time. But the fucking most frustrating part about it is I use Spotify for a podcast because they don't interrupt your podcast with apps or with ads.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because there's no break. There's no break in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't move to a next track. Look, man, I don't know.
Breaks in albums, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it goes to the next track, so they're like, haha, funnies. We're gonna make that ad revenue. Look, man, they're just trying to do what Twitch is doing. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get that ad money. I get it.
I get it as well too. Don't get me wrong. I'm just very frustrated, and it's hard for me, like, because we pay for the YouTube Premium for the entire family, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all the kids and everything, so we can watch whatever, no ads or anything like that. It's really hard to then turn around and be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy Spotify too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was talking about.
The wife has it for her, but for me, it's like, especially when I don't listen to Spotify at work. I don't like listening to music while I work. I know it's a very controversial thing. I cannot stand listening to music 90% of the time at work. Like, the rare exception is, like, you'll catch me on, like, a Friday. Like, I'll jam to some shit and sing along, right? But otherwise, I hate listening to music at work. Songs are only, like, 2 to 4 minutes long.
Yep.
So every 2 to 4 minutes when the new song kicks in, I'm just reminded it's only been 2 to 4 minutes. And it's just a constant reminder that it's only been 2 to 4 minutes. It's so frustrating. Opposed to, like, my podcast, I get lost in a podcast and then, like, snap back to reality. And you're like, oh, fuck, we're 45 minutes deep and I somehow know about the fucking mating rituals of kangaroos. Like, what happened here?
I talk about that when my runners are like, "Oh, what do you listen to, Coach?" I'm like,
"Oh, you talk about the mating rituals of kangaroos."
No, I talk about like listening to podcasts instead of music, because like with music, I know how long a song is, like average wise, and like then I'm calculating in my head how far I am into my run, and then I'm like rent free up here for no reason. Where if I put on a podcast and people are just talking, I have no idea. Like it could be 10 minutes, it could be 40, I don't know. They talking, I listening, and I just keep on trucking along. That's what I do.
Deadass. I am fucking right there with you, dude. Yeah. Like I can't get lost in music like that. Now the difference would be an album. You were to listen to an album, but that's just not what most people do nowadays. You're never presented albums. Rarely is Spotify or anything out there like, hey, how about I just play this entire album for you? No, you get one song and on to the next. Pop hit, pop hit.
Yeah.
I feel like it depends, like, what, like, genre of music you're into, though. Because, like, I'm a lot more into, like, the indie, like, alternative indie rock, like, scene. And, like, I almost exclusively, like, when I'm listening to music on my own, I will exclusively just, like, play, like, the same 3 albums until I get bored of them. And then I'm like, okay, time for a new album. But I'll play through the entire album.
Myself, like, listening to, like, the discography of artists a lot. Like, where I'll just, like, click an artist and I'll just listen. I might click on one of their albums to listen to, but, like, more often than not, like, I'll just whatever it wants to take me on that journey, I will take and listen to. But
no, again, I might be my limited use of Spotify, and I'm mainly just going off YouTube here. But a few times I've used like Spotify, I have tried to play an album, right? So many fucking ads in between each one that it really makes that fucking feel. But
ad diff, dude.
But part of that is because like I would search for an artist, and then it would like pop up their albums and shit, right? But then because my account's so new and I have such limited use on anything, like if I click on an artist, like I did it for a Coulter Wall, right? All I get suggested is Coulter Wall. Like that is fucking it. And then it's like, oh hey, but you did click on this one song way back when and this one song way back when. So do you want like random playlists from those? And it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. True.
Okay, well, my point is like, if you were to go listen to something longer or search for something like that, you have to search. You're rarely just presented that in the middle of the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it's because it gets skipped. That's why it's not promoted.
I actually wonder what Spotify's algorithm is like.
I
want to look that up. I'm just curious.
No math. We're not. That's too much math, Mr. Math.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll figure it out myself. That's all right.
Teacher McDaddy, stop it. Blaise is a
Bloop,
teacher, by the way. That's not being extra weird.
I think I gathered that. I was like, I'm like
Yeah.
piecing together things in my head. I'm like, okay, this is kind of making sense.
I'm a math teacher and a cross country and track coach.
I don't want your job ever.
That's okay. Most people don't. My favorite thing is like people are like, I hate math. I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot. And then they're like, oh, what do you coach? I'm like, I coach running. They're like, I hate running. I was like, yeah, I like to do the things that people hate, and that's just what I do.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Someone has to. But it's a fun time. But Bloop, how were your games this week?
So funny story. We were actually playing Smite earlier, and they were just god awful. Like, I would say no. Like, literally, I think since they've had like the double worshippers and everything, like, I have not had a genuinely fun time on Smite, with like a few exceptions here or there. But overall, my games have been absolutely terrible for like the past 2 weeks. And if that's either a combination of like getting steamrolled by like Kali in the jungle and Conquest, or like just not like having good teammates. And I
don't want to interrupt you, but you mentioned Conquest.
Yeah.
My Wednesday streams are now Conquest streams.
Oh God. How does that feel?
You know whose fucking fault it is that I got back into Conquest?
Was it me?
It was you fucking dragging me in with that fucking Anubis mid game and me going, I am too bad at this. I have to learn back up on this game mode. Like, well, I mean, and it did, like, at the end, we ended up doing all right. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
It was the utter shit start, like, almost die into fucking red buff. And I'm like, no.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Yeah.
This gotta fucking change.
Yeah. No,
You've
overall.
inspired me. Congratulations. For
You're
giving me
welcome.
mental anxiety.
Now you get to hate Conquest with me. Yeah, no, games have been, it's weird. It's like you either have games where like you're doing really well and like the game's just like, you know, easy, you win, you move on, or you have games where you're just struggling to do anything. Like I think the last game that I just played, I went Xbalanque ADC, and I was doing so bad. I went 0-6, and I couldn't secure a kill. I couldn't get the towers taken care of. I was like, I'm just not doing damage, and this is my life, and I have to be okay with that.
Yep. I feel that on so many levels.
Yeah, I just, yeah, I do question why I play Smite sometimes.
I've been on that streak.
Fun.
Yeah. I've been on that streak lately where I'm like, like I'll be honest, like Saturday night, I always do Smite night on Saturday. Even before they made Smite night last year, like I was doing Smite night streams on Saturday. I was like, oh, this is a fun title to do. Like we'll queue at the community.
Blaise, how does it feel to have all your ideas and titles just absolutely rip the fuck off?
Let
like
me tell you, Fro.
Every time you come up with an idea, someone's like, you know what's great? If I do that.
So here's the thing, Fro. In general, I'm okay. Like in general, I'm okay. The most recent ones have ticked me off, like really, really bad.
Like the DKO Friday night tournaments?
Yeah, that one really tilted me to no end. It tilted me more that I wasn't then allowed to have tournaments that night hosted, or at least sponsored by Hi-Rez as far as gym payout, because another person already got that after I'd already been like in talks. And yeah, there's more. There's this like, as of late, I would say the past 6 months, like ideas I put out there that get taken, like it just becomes more and more tilty. And I'm like, okay, I talk about them on stream. I talk about them on 2 different podcasts. And like, do I need to take to Twitter? Like, is that what I need to do to get the like respect for the ideas that I feel like I could just a smidge?
Honestly, yeah, I would say so. Do it.
Like, I talked about the idea of giving Odysseus Bow Toxic Blade passive like a month and a half to 2 months ago here on the podcast.
We did. That was so crazy. We talked about just straight up removing Toxic Blade and then giving it to Oboe. And then you see J2 Faye, like 2 weeks after that, do that one thing or do the picture.
Yep. I was tilted last week. I was tilted. I was like, I love Jay, but like, holy bro, like I cannot win for lose. But no, I agree. I think I was chilling with the family Saturday night, and I was like, I've had a really good day. I've accomplished a lot. I'm not getting on Smite. Like, that's just gonna ruin it. Like, it just is what it is. I put something out to my community in Discord. I was like, hey guys, I'm really sorry to cancel on y'all, but I'm good. I'm not playing Smite tonight.
You're like, I don't want to ruin my mood.
Yeah, it's just been the way it's been, and I feel bad because I personally think since 10.6 has dropped, I think the game has been in a better state for Conquest. But I'm not enjoying it more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not enjoying the game as much.
So a rant I brought up on my stream.
Yeah.
Is that the most forgiving game mode in Smite right now is Conquest. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like you're allowed to make the most amount of mistakes. You are punished the least for your mistakes in Conquest. Every other game mode right now is punishing.
Yeah.
I guess the slight exception would be Arena, but that's
right. It's Arena.
Arena,
I have a whole fucking different rant for Arena. That's why the fuck do I get punished for being ahead? It's not my fault. The enemy team's a shitter. Why do I have a fucking 40-second death timer? Yeah, I literally yesterday. Oh,
can we talk about this? Because this is a thing.
Yeah, we can. Because yesterday we were in an 8-minute fucking match. We were in an 8.5-minute fucking long match, right? And I was 17 and fucking 4 at like 5 minutes or so, right? Or like maybe I was like 17 and like 5, something like that. The important part is I died just a few times, like 2 to 3 times at the end of the match, right? Towards the end. But because I was ahead, I got hit with the fucking 45-second fucking death timer back to back to back. And at one point, I literally, like, I came back, I went out to the fight, and immediately got CC'd and died, right? So at that point, like, I didn't participate in the last 2.5 fucking minutes of a 8.5-minute long game, right? That is 25 fucking % of the match I spent staring at a gray screen because I was ahead. I got punished. This is a stupid fucking mechanic. Remove the rubber band mechanic from Arena. It does not belong in Smite. There is no need for any rubber band mechanic like that. Period. That is fucking... The closest we have is the gold chest in Conquest, and people already think that's a bit much, right? Like,
I love the gold chest in Conquest.
I'm with it. I like the gold chest how they are right now.
I love playing ADC and my jungle not glabbing it, so I just go and take it myself. That's what I like. That's free XP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm all right with that. But the point is, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a bit of a comeback mechanic. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think that's done all right. The fucking literal, like, huge ass death timers is dumb. It's fucking dumb. Especially when... What, are you going to wipe the entire team in that fucking 40 seconds? No. And on the off chance that you actually do, right? You got one team that's ahead that's now staring around going, wow, this feels fucking horrible, as the enemy team doesn't have enough time to fucking do anything because it's the Arena. Like, what they get it back? Like, even if they didn't have a Minotaur, like, already at the middle by the time they decided you, it's not making it in, right? Like, you could even be generous and say that it spawns from the deicide, right? It ain't making it in. Or like it has to already like be so lined up for it to even be like, oh, see, look, this is worth it for the enemy team. They have a chance. No, it's fucking pointless. You just sit there fucking staring at the screen. I'm so mad. I hated that match. I was so mad. And that was my end of my stream.
So non-conquest modes have Soul Surge.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk about the fact, why do people run away from it? It literally cuts your death timer in half. If you're in Assault and the Soul Surge spawns, it is 100% worth it in the first like 15 minutes to run in there, frag or die. One of the two. Because if you die, your cooldown for your death is cut in half and you get to buy. I'm just throwing it out there. Just some tech that people run away from. It's all like...
Blaise McDaddy can do the math on this, but with your death timer being cut in half, if you die right after the wave gets cleared, you'll be back in time for the next wave.
And with items. So like let's say you got like 3 kills, dude. If that soul surge is in a tower, go die. Just go die. Like, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, it's going to cut that death timer in half. You're going to go be able to back and buy items. You're going to hit your power spike. It's going to feel great. Just food for thought, you know?
Yeah, I've been running into, like, I quit playing Assault recently. Like, I'm really just kind of a cooldowns conquest person right now because I'm just not enjoying anything else. Which is weird coming from an Assault main. But, like, the few Assaults I have been playing, I don't care that you saved up 4,000 gold. That doesn't win us the game. I don't care that you're fucking 6-0. Go die and buy some fucking items and help us out finally. Like, there's something I've been running into that a lot. Like, cool, you got lots of money. Go spend it.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. So I don't play like a lot of Assault either, and like I think that there's some people who just like genuinely don't always look at the patch notes. I am guilty of that sometimes. So like I think I was like streaming the other day and somebody on my team was like, "Oh yeah, if you die in the Soul Surge, like it cuts your respawn timer in half." And I just didn't know that because I didn't read it. And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Hear me out.
Excuse me?
I think it's a fair excuse to be like, I didn't read the patch notes or keep up with the patch notes when it's like Bulwark. Oh, I mentioned Bulwark. Fucking Pestilence or whatever got nerfed to 100 gold or buffed to 100 gold or 10 prots. When it's a new game mechanic added to the entire game, I feel like you're somewhat obligated to like at least read up a little bit on that.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about that though. It should also like could be an in-game notification.
Yeah.
Like it's something I've talked about like with noticeability. And like getting people like okay, hey, we added soul surges in Stygiant Beacon, aka Bacon, and you like as soon as you log in, they hit us with all the buy stuff. Just post that. Are most people going to hit continue? Yes, but there's gonna be a couple people that read that and go, "Oh man, there's some new game mechanics, and this is what it does." And it doesn't have to be a long thing. It could be like, "Hey, new game mechanics. Here's a video that it takes you to where you can listen to it." I mean, that's the whole reason I started doing patch notes breakdowns is because people don't want to read the patch notes, but they'll listen to someone talk about them. That's not necessarily like
it's just like my time. Like I listen to stuff when I'm driving, working. I can't read when I'm driving.
Right.
You know, yeah, I'm with you on that. I also think another workaround, a good workaround, could be on the patch, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you add something new, especially like a new mechanic. Why don't we have like little in-game pop-up tips, kind of like the beginner, like like when you have your in-game tips on or whatever, when it goes up to the speed buff and like this is speed buff, it does this. Why isn't that just automatically turned on for like the first patch that a new mechanic is added? I'm not saying permanent.
No,
maybe
but I mean
for
like
a couple days or a week or until the next hot patch or whatever they call it, the supplemental patch or whatever, a week or two, like, and then it could be removed.
Yeah, I just think there needs something.
Or it's an option where, like you said, you can opt out. Like once it's up there, you can, that don't show this again type thing. Click on that. I don't know.
So to piggyback off Bloop's games, I'm gonna keep my games really short because I also played so much Smite this past week. It is
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
I played a total.
To talk about.
I played in the past 7 days. I played like 8 games of Smite. Because
Reach.
I have been going crazy in comp, and we got a bye week last week, and I said, we got a bye week? Sick. I'm going to take a week off and just kind of chill. With that being said, I did play some games, and I quit trolling with my builds for a little bit, and I actually played seriously for once, because I've been trolling a lot with ADC builds and Axe Animosity. You should try it. It's really good. Especially with Toxic Blade. Anyways, I'm going to move on from that. I have continued the streak of people taking my pentas, and I'm tired of it. If you are in my games, and I'm on a Quadra, and I'm in Conquest, and I am running it down, and I am single-handedly turning the game around in our favor to win.
Oh, not the Conquest penta.
And you take my penta, I'm coming at you. I'm just throwing it out there. I was tilted the other day. I've had, I think, 3 or 4 pentas taken from me in the past, 3 weeks. And some of them are excusable, but this one was not. Like, I walked into the fight as Apollo with Diamond Arrow, and their health bars got deleted. And my Wukong, as I'm chasing the last person down,
dong slap,
and I'm like 2 autos away from killing this guy.
Hit him with the dong slap,
and he goes, and
yeah.
I was like, and I'm just sitting there. I was like, and the thing is the Wukong was bad. That's what was frustrating about it. Like, he was getting dominated in lane. It's one thing if you're fragging out and you get the kill, cool. But you walked up because you wanted to kill for your KDA, and that upsets me. Look, I've been 0-6 too, bro. And you best believe I will sit there and I will take the L if it means someone gets the Penta. Last week, I went into the Titan room and our jungle had 27 kills. And we had talked about it like 3 minutes before. Can we get him to 30? And we stopped DPS on the Titan. I was tanking Titan so he could get his 30th kill. Look, sometimes you gotta be a team player.
I have lost or almost lost assault games because I decided that the AFK person needs to get in double-digit deaths.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm about that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's more than what the victory screen, right? Like the game, we are something new has arrived that we need to take care of. Like getting Blaise his coveted Conquest Penta.
I have one. I just was mad that I didn't get
it. You greedy son of a bitch.
I got it in a rank game earlier this year on Oleron. It's the first, like, one of the ones I've had.
Fuck you! You got a ranked fucking Conquest Penta? You whiny motherfucker. I don't feel bad for you anymore. Good job, Wukong.
Wow.
At least you ain't got that goose egg.
Nah, dude.
I'm kidding. No, that feels bad. Did I mention Bright took 2 of mine? I think
he took one. Don't worry, he took one of mine too. It's fine. We're the same.
Thank God. Thank God. Yeah, cool. I have a clip of him being like, I'd never take people's pentas.
I have clipped. I have a clip of it too because he took it with Geb.
He took mine with Maui.
Yeah, he was. Here's the thing, and like I forgave him only because it was like the second kill. I wasn't like in the quadra area.
No,
like
fair.
I would.
That's fair.
So like it was fine, but he still like killed the Loki while he was in Invis, which I found hilarious until I got a quadra, and I was like, I hate you, Embright. But you know, you win some, you lose some. He likes to take pentas. That's just the way of the road.
Yeah, I had it happen. He took it was either the second or the third kill out of one of my pentas. Because that is what it is. But then he took the 5th kill in my penta once.
Yeah, we had that happen a couple times.
That I was like, hey, let's dive fountain. You owe me a penta because you already stole one this game, and then he stole it. Not happy, but enough about that. I brought it up once already.
I did decide to play some Conquest today to get some games in. And I was like, I want to try out I need to practice some ADC. And of course, I didn't get my role. Luckily, it gave me jungle, because what Smite really likes to do the past like 2.5 months is not give me either of my roles and put me in solo, which I really appreciate. Like, shout outs to that.
Solo
hate that
so
role.
Bad.
But
I'd rather solo than support. I'm like the opposite. I'm always placed in support. And I'm like, this is fun.
The funny thing is, like, I get solo, and I generally do well. I just don't like the role, which makes no sense, because I play ADC, which is literally the same thing. It's a 1v1 after like 5 minutes, and I just enjoy that more. But I got jungle. I played Bastet, who is really annoying and dumb right now. And I popped off. I made some people rage quit the game. Shout outs to the Kamazots that I killed under his tier 1 and under his tier 2. When I killed him under the tier 2, that was it. He decided he didn't want any more of the smoke. And he was Kamazot solo, so he deserved everything he had coming to him. And then Bastet. Yeah, he got bodied. They had Kamazots.
Notice how 2 assassins were mentioned in the solo lane. This is why.
No. I was in jungle.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that then. One
there
of
was
the
Kamazot.
solo laners was an assassin, and that's partly why I hate.
Yeah, don't worry. The other solo laner on my team was Zhang Kui, so I appreciate that.
Okay, so I'm going back to my original fucking statement of notice how both solo laners weren't warriors, and this is why I quit playing fucking solo lane, and I hate it now.
And then they had a Neja who also rage quit. I think if that... No, that it was next game we had double rage quits. And then they had a Morgan Le Fay, a Chalk, and an Oleron. And I don't know if people know this, but if you're playing mid or ADC and you want a pick that's just really stupid right now, it's Oleron. Since they changed the way his passive works and he gets crit more often but at a lower damage level, it doesn't matter. He does so much damage, it's insane. He is really, really, really good. Not to mention that his ult
just tweaked his crit so he gets more.
Yeah, so since the power nerf, he wasn't able to like really achieve crit because of all the power being nerfed down. So they lowered the threshold for his crit on the power level, but then they were like, hey, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna lower his like critical damage a little bit. It's not super significant, like it balanced out. He still does a ton of damage. He's really good right now. The second game I got Soul in ADC, and the enemy team had Bakasura, Bacchus, Zhongqi, Hercules, Achilles. So, when you said you wanted your warriors and your tanks, there's 2 warriors on this enemy team and a Bacchus. So, I had a fun time because it was Hercules, Bacchus in the ADC lane. And shout out to this Hercules for spam laughing nothing. He would just spam laugh in the lane the whole time. Like, he'd be like staying in the minions. And I was like, what is this man's problem? Like, is he okay?
He's got a macro. He's just got a macro set up is all.
Yeah. And I go back to my previous statement that I think that if you spam laugh like 3 times in a row, it should just mute you. And if it continues to happen through the match, like it should just mute you VGS wise.
Shadow ban?
Yeah, because I think if I'm a new player in that situation, right? I don't want to play Smite anymore. I'm just saying, like, if I'm a new player, I think that's super frustrating. As a player that I've played a long time, I was like, this guy is not okay. But like, if I was like a new player, like even like I would like even before level 30 and I'm getting spam laughed like that, I think I'd be really annoyed. I was fragging this game, and then my Lancelot went 0-4 and decided he didn't want to play the game anymore, and he raged quit. And then because we wouldn't F6 at the first 10 minutes, and we decided to like play it out a little bit and see how it went, our Kokolin also rage quit and left us in a 3v5. So
love it.
When I went and talked about why I haven't been playing a lot, there you go. This straight shenanigans.
Sounds like it.
Straight shenanigans. But that's my games. Short, sweet, to the point. I have an AGL set this week. Hopefully we win and go to finals. I made it top 8 in the caster, the high risk competition for casting. I'm in top 8 for chair 1s. So we'll do that this week. It's going to be a fun time. Trying to get to top 2. Top 2 means I get to cast for the Salt tournament with the SPL or SEC caster.
Hell yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I did the competition last year that was like third party. And I got like top 3 as a chair 2, and then I got told, "Hey man, I think you're way better at chair 1." I was like, "Cool." So that's where I'm at now. For what, bro?
When are you doing that?
I don't know. So they decided that everybody that made top 8 in their respective chairs was going to get assigned a partner through ChatGPT. I got my partner, and they have only been casting for a month. And I'm slightly concerned. But I talked to him a good bit today, and I think we're doing a practice cast tomorrow, and then we're just going to pick a day. Because we have to wait for a league to offer a set to cast, is the way they're doing it, which I don't have a problem with. If anybody's interested in casting
or
production,
such a fucking hassle to be a caster.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'll tell you something that annoys me as a caster, because I don't think most people have to like deal with this. Is you have production, and production runs the camera like Doug does on SPL if you watch that. And I had 2 situations the past week where and both were the same person. Their name in Discord is the name I shouted out for production. They're like, "That's not my name." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, like in Discord, that's what it said. My bad." They're like, "It's actually this." And I was like, "Okay, no problem." If I'm in the middle of casting a fight and production says something in my ear that is not relevant to the fight whatsoever or anything that's happening in the game, that is so freaking annoying. Like and some production members do that. I don't know why. And what bothers me about it is like, I don't know, do they have themselves muted on OBS, or can the audience hear that? So for me, it's even more frustrating when they say something that's like irrelevant. Where like I want my chair 2 for that information. Like if something's coming up in a fight where like let's say a Loki's rotate into flank, I know as a chair 2, I've said Loki, and that's all I'll say. I won't say anything else, but just to help the chair 1 realize something's about to happen that they might want to pay attention to the fight. I had like a production member that legitimately like said a whole sentence while I was trying to cast a fight, and it was so distracting on that end. But if anybody's ever interested in learning casting or production, let me know. I'm happy to help you learn. It is a it's a time, but I think it's super fun though. Like it's kind of like a thankless job in a lot of ways, but it's super fun to do. But with that,
I've done it once.
Yeah.
It was alright.
I don't like my voice enough.
So here's a question.
That's the wonderful thing. You don't have to like your voice. Other people have to.
Yeah.
People like my voice apparently, and I can't fucking stand my voice. Like I really, really don't.
I was gonna hop over.
Other people are like, "Oh, you got a decent voice." Like I do. I fucking narrate Cabbage's video, so it can't be too terribly bad, right? Like, but then like I can't personally stand. My problem with my voice is my voice fluctuates so much, and I hate it. Right? Because like, tired, my energy comes down. It's way down here. It gets like bassier. I get a little more grumblier and all that. But then if I get worked up at all, right, it like just immediately shoots up to that other octave. And if I get excited, my voice gets kind of squeaky. Like I just naturally like get squeakier, and yeah.
Yeah, we actually get graded on that for this competition, which is wild. You get graded on your caster voice and then your inflection, or like one of the two mini topics that we get like checked off on. And caster voice is one that I find so weird because I feel like there's so much bias in that. Where,
so to quote Hindu,
yeah,
he smashes together a soccer player or a soccer caster and a WWE caster.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, oh my God, that is Hindu, isn't it? It really is Hindu. He is a WWE caster mixed with a fucking soccer caster.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I will say like the feedback I got in the first competition I did was very either broad or not helpful at all. Like I watched somebody get told like this person carried, you didn't do anything, and I was like, that is not constructive feedback whatsoever.
That's actually the opposite.
Yeah, which now we're getting like more constructive feedback, and we can ask questions, and like we submit a VOD, and it's way more professional. But this was also hosted by Hi-Res, so it's a bit different. But it's time for some BloopFruit questions, because we do have some questions from our challengers. And the first one is for Arkham Verse. They say they haven't had a chance to watch you, but what is your brand about?
Oh, God. That's funny, because I feel like I'm still figuring that out myself. But I don't know. I feel like my brand is really just like kind of geared towards like community and community orientation. I actually rebranded quite a couple months ago now. For those who knew me before, I used to be Queen Luna Lux, and then I rebranded to BloopFruit. And part of that was just I kind of just wanted, like, for me, when I hear Queen Luna Lux, like, it's iconic, it slays, it eats, it's all the stuff, you know. But it didn't feel authentic. It felt very showy and like performative. And when talking to one of my friends about like, I was like, I don't like know kind of what I even want to do with streams. I actually even thought about like not streaming for a while, and just like leaving streaming altogether. And it wasn't until I sat down with this person and I was like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, well, whatever you end up doing with streaming, or if you decide not to stream, it should be something that you want to do. And so I really thought on it, and I was like, I just really want to make a community where everyone can be welcome regardless of who they are. Because I feel like I see a lot, and what I see a lot of in like the overall Smite player base. And when I say this, I don't mean this in like, I feel like most of like Smite streamers and Smite streaming communities are pretty well regulated, and people are like really like genuinely nice people. But I feel like I just see so much just like queer phobia, and especially in more recent times, so there's been so much like transphobia in like in the real world, in the online world, and I just get so sick and tired of seeing it, because it's like, if I'm getting tired of feeling this way and feeling like I'm constantly invalidating myself and who I am as a person, and just like, if I can't make myself feel that I am worthy of being human, I can only imagine how people who don't have a sense of community or a sense of just like confidence in self, how they might feel in all the being dragged down by just like all the different like opinions that people have. And I actually told I was talking to my chat earlier, and someone was like, I wore makeup today because like I wanted to, and I don't care what other people say. And I like stopped stream for a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna give y'all like a bit of advice, and if I may, I'm gonna give some advice again. um Regardless of what anyone has to say about you, just live your life however the fuck you want to live it.
Yep.
That's really what it matters at the end of the day. And I think that's kind of what my brand is focusing about. Like, obviously, not obviously, but I have more of like my theme brand is like this blueberry cow. Sometimes I'll do like a blueberry cow PNG tuber, but like it's all like blueberries, and like our Discord is called the Blissy Club, and it's very just like friendly and open to everybody, and like we have a good time. We have movie nights and stuff like that, and it's really just a place where people can create community and can create friendships with one another and get to know more people online, and just have it be a space where people, if they don't necessarily have that sense of community, where they can find that sense of community, because I didn't have that sense of community for the longest time, and I found that as I've gotten older, and especially coming out of a global pandemic, and where we're still dealing with the after effects of that, I just kind of forgot how to be a person socially. And so, needless to say, I would say really my brand is really just about community and focusing on how can we make people feel welcome and feel accepted and feel validated as they are, as opposed to putting all of our opinions on people and saying you have to fit this specific like image, and if you're outside of this image, yeah, exactly, like, yeah, we just want people to be themselves, have fun, and treat people with respect and dignity.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I tell my kids. And like, I work with a lot of students that, different walks of life and all that. And sometimes they'll be like, hey coach, or, Mr. Dub, like, how do you just not care? And I was like, look, I care that everybody else is doing well, but I don't care what people think about me regardless. Like, if you walk in, you're like, I hate you. I'm like, cool, man. Like, that's great. Like, we like, you still got to sit in my classroom and learn today.
Join the club.
But like, I think we put so much, I agree. Like, we put so much time and effort into this idea of like, what do other people think about us or feel about us? And like, really and truly, like, it matters what you think. And the people that are really, really close to you, right? Like, I care what my kids think, I care what my wife thinks, but beyond that, I'm not going out there looking for anything else as far as that goes. I'm just like, I'm cool. And I think that's really important, especially like we hear that word like community so often, but in like some places, and I don't mean this to be mean, but like sometimes we hear that word community and it's like community with their own thoughts. Like, I'm all about like community where like everybody's involved, everybody can feel welcome. And I think that's huge. I think it's needed.
So
and the big
I had a screenshot in my Discord that I mean, I asked both people to make sure it was all right and so I could share it, because it was, I mean, I want to be like, I'm trying to build up like a big community, like, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm trying to like make my own little one too, but like mine's like, I just kind of want to have people to play with, right? It's not like I'm not like you. I'm not trying to actually like make a space for everyone, because I'd rather just come hang out in a space that's already made, but I want people to play with. So I'm trying to just gather friends more than make a community, if you But in my Discord, there was one point where there was two people talking, and I just had to interrupt their conversation because it was literally a queer painter having a conversation with a fucking redneck farmer. And they were one's talking about farming and how he's going to a tractor show this weekend, and the other's talking about the painting they were getting ready to do. And I'm like, this right here, this is how I want my community or my Discord looking like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is it.
Yeah. And like really quickly to bounce off the idea of community too, to like really touch on, like, I also want to say, like, you know, a lot of people like to say like their communities are like safe spaces, and I've seen a lot of discourse over this idea of like a safe space, and I want people to know that in wanting to be open and welcoming as a community, I don't like to use the term safe space at all anymore, because a lot of people, they're like, oh, our place is a safe space. And like, they're saying like, it is a safe space. But the thing is, like, the only people who can decide that is your community. Like, you can't decide that as an individual that, oh, this is a safe space. It might be a safe space for you, but it might be a terrible space for someone else. They might go in there and they might be like, this fucking sucks. I hate myself, and dip, you know?
Yeah.
And you just kind of have to have that openness. Like, you know, this is kind of what our values and our morals are. If you vibe with it, great. If you don't, you know, do what you will.
Yeah, or you hope like maybe if it's like a real issue, right? Like they bring it up to you so you can like sit down and talk to a person about it, like and like learn. I mean, I've had that happen, and I was like, I sat down with the person, I was like, hey man, like this is what's going on. I don't know if this is what you're meaning to say, but like coming off this way, and they're like, oh, I didn't mean that at all, and like it was just one of those things they didn't even know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think that's really good and helpful for sure.
I would say, yeah, it's Blaise and I actually had a moment like that once where I was the offended party, if you will. We won't name the other person, but they were playing, and I know Bloop's can have an opinion about this one. This can be a real spicy conversation. They're playing Hogwarts Legacy.
For those y'all who didn't catch earlier, I am trans, and y'all know how we feel about fucking what's her face.
Yep. Now,
she who shall not be named.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, she who should not be named.
She's I don't really care about her. Yeah, she who shall not be named.
That's a good one, Blaise. I like that. But so their comment was meant to be harmless, and from their point of view was, and from their understanding was, right? But what they said is something along the lines of, you know, I get why some people are mad, but there's a lot of trans people and gay people and normal people that play this game too. Yeah, see, you caught it. You caught it because you weren't in the exactly. Yeah, yep.
I can see how that might be like a linguistics issue and just like a word choice thing, but like, because you don't want to fucking say that.
Includes him under the normal party. Right?
Yeah.
So I could see how it easily would go up and over someone's head, right? He didn't mean any ill will about it. This is why we came up with the term cis, by the way, or straight.
Yeah.
So you can address those, but a lot of people don't know what cis means, so they get a little upset and they don't want to use it, which is cool.
Or they're like, you're calling me a slur, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
It's just cool you don't like it if you don't understand. It's not cool that you don't want to be informed. I understand that. Everyone wants to be informed at all times. Like, saying not right now is an acceptable answer, or could you explain it later? That's cool too. I'm okay with ignorance. I'm not okay with willful ignorance, right? That's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got a little upset about this, right? Because just he said it like that, and I don't know if it's the way he said it, the tone of voice, or what. The moment I got a little upset. I'm like, I can't fucking deal with it. Like that's a little too much. It's and again, I don't remember if we were already kind of disagreeing and back and forth a little bit anyway. So if it was like, all right,
I think you guys were talking about something else, and
it's like that's the camel's back being busted right now. I can't deal with it. But we have reconciled. Blaise mediated a bit, if you will, and you know, kind of explained his side to me, explained my side to him. We both see, you know, what was going on, and again, you know, from his point of view, it was It was meant to be a harmless statement to just being like, hey, there's straight people and gay people and trans people and cis people.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah. And to be fair, like, I talk to him regularly, and he makes word slips, and not to that egregious, but like, we were playing Smite the other day. He said something like, bro, are you good? Like, because he was like, he was trying to say something about a fight that was happening. I was like, you said words, and I'm not even sure they made sense. Like, so
Yeah.
he does that quite often. But I mean, I sat down and talked to both parties, and it's just like, hey, like, here's what's going on. And like, it was an easy conversation, but that takes both parties wanting agreeing like, hey, maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I misunderstood, and wanting to learn from that. And that doesn't happen all the time.
No.
Well, it was also to add a little bit to the not necessarily the awkwardness, but the difficulty, and I would say the maturity on both of our ends, if you will. He was streaming too. So it's like conversation cannot be had now. Like part of the reason why I'm like, I'm out, it's like conversation cannot continue.
Yeah.
This requires a literal actual conversation.
Yeah.
And also our time zones, I mean, I guess we're relatively close time zones. Our just schedules don't necessarily line up. So it's like not like we see each other all the time either. So I'm like,
yeah.
Anyways.
Well, and also like, you know, whatever happened is said and done and whatever. But like for anyone who like might not understand like why that's like a big no-no, I would hope most people do. But like, you know, I think a big thing to understand about, and it goes into just understanding how different people work and realizing that everyone comes from different backgrounds, is that you have to keep in mind a lot of queer people have probably heard from someone who they loved or who like was considered someone that they were close to, that like tell them to their face like you're not normal because of their queerness. And so that can be like a really touchy like subject area.
Yeah.
And so especially using the term like normal people, that can be really hurtful. And like, you know, not to get into the whole
people
like
using it on a regular basis, intentionally hurtful.
Intentionally,
like,
exactly.
Not,
and so
not necessarily loved ones. You got other people like straight up just saying like gay people ain't normal.
Yeah. Like I had someone come into...
I probably should have explained that.
Yeah.
I knew you caught on right away.
Yeah, right away I was like, oh, hold on. But yeah, because like I had someone come into stream the other day or yesterday, I think, and they were like the first question they asked was like, oh, are you trans? And I was like immediately I like my walls were up because like one, I was like, okay, we're in the middle of the stream. How do I deal with this? But also because I've dealt with so many transphobic people coming in and go, oh, you're trans, and then like proceeding to say like XYZ under the sun of like slurs and whatnot. And I'm just like, okay, you want attention, but I'm gonna block you. And very quickly they're like, I don't mean to like offend. I'm like, really sorry. I was like, no, you're good. I'm just like, you know, I think that we have so much collective trauma as queer people from the ways that we've been treated by our overall community, like the overall like society, that like, you know, you want to be mad at us for acting certain ways, but then it's like, you know, this is the way that we were treated. Like, this is the only way we know how to react.
I don't want to speak on y'all's behalf, but as someone who sees people who be like come right in like leading with the all your trans, it reminds me of that TikTok meme of the one that was going around, the show me where you piss from. Like,
oh my god,
it's literally like if you were to walk up to someone and just say that right away, that's how awkward it looks.
And people think that's acceptable though. Like, there's people out there who think that's acceptable.
Like what does it matter? What does it matter right from the get go? What's it matter? Unless you are actively looking to support a trans streamer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Other than that, what's it matter? Like, I mean, I guess, I mean, unless you're going to be honest with yourself and everyone too, if you're looking to avoid a trans streamer, like, cool. Like, oh, sorry, not for me then. I mean, kind of a shit thing to do, but appreciate the honesty if you can be civil about it, I guess. But
yeah.
All right, I am going to move on to our next question.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Oh yeah,
that's all I can say. I'm good.
Well, no, it was one of those things like I didn't want to interrupt because I was like, this is important because it's true. Like, I mean, like these are things that come up, but I was like, I'm also like, I wanted to wait a second. I was like, this is an awkward pause now because I waited. I had to have a depth pause. I had to really like, you know, make up for.
Had to solidify the information that everyone just heard so they could let it saturate in their brain.
You know, true, and I think a lot of people. That's something to learn, okay? Like, if you're in a conversation and you realize that you have lost what to say or what you're talking about, or like you're like, I am in over my head or just whatever, take a second, like pause, think about it. There is nothing wrong with letting people know that you are thinking about what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because like
Do it all the time.
that just means the conversation's better because like it's active listening.
Can you give me a moment to collect my thoughts?
Yeah.
Those are great words. Great words.
Yeah.
Okay, Sasquatch came in with a lot of questions, as Sasquatch normally does. And the first question is, would you rather have pizza, hamburgers, or chicken fingers?
You're getting fucking judged right now, by the way.
Oh God.
I'm not judging any of this. I mean, like, I don't know.
So there is one correct answer.
Hold on. Okay, so they say chicken fingers. Do they mean chicken strips or like?
See, that's what I'm saying. Or do they mean chicken strips, chicken nuggets, boneless wings? I mean, like they're
not
or like there's
wings.
actual like chicken fingers, because chicken fingers are like, I've had chicken fingers before and they're fucking disgusting because they're literally just like boneless, like ground up chicken in like fry formation, and it's really weird and gross.
Now chicken fries, I can get behind. Pizza is delicious.
Chicken fries is not for me.
Okay, I was gonna say, Fro, if you tell me pizza's not the correct answer, I'm about to be upset.
My absolute most favorite food, pepperoni pizza.
See, that used to be my favorite, but now I'm a chicken bacon ranch pizza type of person.
Fucking 7, get out of here with that. I want my pepperoni.
Chicken bacon ranch.
Chicken bacon ranch is all right, but I worked at a factory by a gas station for
I mean,
a while, and you get tired of chicken bacon ranch pizza real quick when that happens.
Well, the next question leads into which toppings, garnish, or sauce would you like to accompany with your above choice?
Ooh, okay. So it kind of depends on my mood. So there's usually 3 main pizza types that I go for, and I might get some flack for this. I don't know why. People can say whatever. I think Hawaiian pizza is really good. Canadian bacon and pineapple, I'm here for it. You got your savory, you got your sweet. It's solid. But I also
Canadian pizza.
I can also get behind like a pepperoni and beef pizza. I know it sounds like a really weird combination. It sounds like a weird combination, but pepperoni and beef could be pretty good sometimes too. Beef, yeah. So okay, a little context. I lived in the Midwest for like 4 years, and Nebraska specifically. People in Nebraska really like just plain, just like cheese and beef pizza. It's a thing.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. And so you mix pepperoni with
it sounds bad.
It's not bad, but it's not great.
But
you know?
like you hear it and you're like, what? You taste it and you're
is that just a hamburger with a weird bun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a cheesy. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've had a hamburger pizza before. That's why I'm kind of with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know.
Yeah, it's the same concept. Just with pepperonis.
Not ground beef though. It's like little like chunks of beef almost.
I've been poor. I've had quesadilla with ground beef. I get you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I will say more often than not, I really enjoy like Greek/Mediterranean style pizzas that have like white sauce with like artichoke hearts on them. I'm sorry, you're looking at me like, Bro's like no.
Bro, sometimes those slap.
They're good. Like if you get like bacon and like chicken, artichoke heart, spinach, feta cheese. Oh my god, that shit. I will eat that shit day and night.
I would agree, but you led with the nasty shit first. You're like artichoke hearts. It's like,
artichoke hearts are so good. What do you mean?
Not on a pizza with all the stuff you just said.
Nah, it's delicious.
They're good on like I've had a vegetable pizza, right? Because like the place I used to work at, I was a pizza cook, right? Mm-hmm. Like we had the stone fire pizza and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
We had like a pesto veg that had like roasted red peppers and like it instead of a sauce, it had pesto. It had like a thick pesto, real thick pesto.
Oh, I love pesto.
With like pine nuts on it, artichoke hearts. I'm like, yeah, that was good. That was good. I can see where the place is. But then like you mentioned like spinach and then
so you gotta get to
cheese.
There's a local place my wife likes to go, and I'm linking a picture of the pizza before I describe it, so that way we're all on the same page of what it looks like. The pizza's called the Crazy X, but it's a white sauce with cream cheese, jalapenos, bacon, and honey. And every time I see it, I'm like, I wonder. I don't ever try it. I think I've had it like maybe
really
like a bite,
good actually.
but like I see it, I'm like, that sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a huge fan of just like heated up cream cheese. Like I'm just not. It's just one of those things where like I'm like, okay, if I got a bite of just the cream cheese, I would be devastated. Like, but interesting take to
I look
have
away for
jalapeno.
a fucking second, and you're saying cream. Okay, around jalapeno poppers. Got it. Right. Never mind.
No, it's a pizza with cream cheese, white sauce, jalapenos, and bacon, and honey drizzled on top.
With goat cheese. Warm
goat cheese is so yummy.
I hate cold goat cheese. It's so gross. When it gets warm and it melts, goat cheese melts. By the way, people, that's oh my god, its flavor is fucking on point. Then with the jalapenos, like everything you just said. Yeah, no. Make that a goat cheese and fucking.
Is there a cheese that doesn't melt?
Asiago and hard parm doesn't melt that well.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Just sweats.
Gouda does sweat.
Yeah, Gouda sweats.
I'm also torn because like a lot of the stuff I cooked in a 750-degree oven, so it's like they do. Oh, they fucking do.
Like at a certain temperature, it'll melt.
But yeah, like Asiagos, harder parms, they're not really a melty cheese.
That makes sense. That's what I was thinking too. But then I thought about it, and I was like,
it gets gooey.
Yeah.
I can't even. I guess
no,
it gets creamy.
Sense.
It gets very, very creamy, right? And melty. Versus like a.
No, Gouda does just get like weird. Like Gouda's one of those ones. Like it does it melt? I mean, like by context, yes, but it doesn't look like melted cheese. Like it just looks like sweaty cheese.
Well, it's because it doesn't have any stringiness to it, and it doesn't really have much. It has the slightest amount of creaminess to it.
Well, my hot take is
it just becomes like extra soft.
My hot take is that Gouda sucks, but smoked Gouda is really, really good.
Okay, all right. I was about to come after you, and then you said smoked Gouda. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the one
I can't like.
Yeah,
I can't eat regular Gouda. Smoked Gouda, I'm all about it. But like regular Gouda, I'm like, this just isn't as good as smoked Gouda, and then I'm sad. But our next question is, who's your favorite god to play in Smite?
I think my favorite god right now is probably Ratatasker. I've always loved Rat. I love Rat. So I started playing probably around the time, I think it was like right after Bologna released, I think. And I think Rat was the next release, or he was like one of the like upcoming like new releases. But I don't know. I've just always had fun with him, and like I always build Rat crit. I've tried to build a mobility base. I don't like it. I've tried doing his tank build. It's okay. But crit Rat just it hits differently for me every time, but in the best way.
If you hit crit Rat, like you hit the dash and you just watch someone just like die, you're like, yeah,
just like,
I do a lot of damage.
Yeah,
it does feel really, really good.
I feel like a little rocket. I'm just like, ooh,
I hate that I know how it's done, but I can't do it because you know how many times I've had the Rat will go crit with Hydras and then fucking ult on top of me, and when I'm in the middle of knocked up, they fucking hit me with the dash auto, and I'm gone. You're just gone. It's like, oh, that's fucking not fair.
Yeah, they hit you with the alternate Chronos passive and sent you to the gray screen. Yeah, it's super fun.
It's so And
if you're real lucky, you can actually be ahead, and so you get like a 45-second fucking death timer, and it does need to be in fucking arena. Why is it there? I'm sorry.
This leads into
a Rat may or may not embed in one of those matches. I'm just saying.
You're having Rat trauma.
The next is, who is the god you just like playing against the most?
Loki.
That's easy.
I hate Loki.
Okay, you know, here I have something to say.
Loki mains, Loki players playing against Loki. I fucking hate Loki. I will never love Loki ever. Burn, put it in a hole. Put it in a hole. Bury it. I don't want to see it in my games. Like, I'm done. Loki, no. I'm sorry, bro, but Loki, no.
That's the spot I was gonna put him.
I kind of want
That's
to
a
get
lie.
Hades right
Actually,
here.
it's not too much of a lie. Turns out Loki in his card art, because of the way he sits, with like fucking all spread eagle and shit, he's actually really wide and doesn't fit on my arm comfortably. Versus Disco Cucullin, which are stood up. That's partly why I didn't get the Loki one.
I looked at my wife the other day and I said, I want to go get more tattoos. And she just said, okay. And I was like, oh, all right, that was an easy conversation.
Are you gonna get a Smite tattoo?
No.
I want to get
I guess
Smite
kind of.
tattoo.
I
Wow,
want
what
to
a bitch.
get. I want to get the Hermes wing, like off of the track shoe. I want to get that, like going up my calf, but I can't. I haven't find a design I've liked. I've been looking at it for like 2 years, trying to figure out what I want, because I think I'm gonna get a different design on each leg.
You should just get
Like
a Herm.
I think I'm gonna get like with it like an element theme.
Get a tattoo of a Herm.
I am moving on. If you could add a god to Smite, any fictional character, literal or real life
so
character
glad
you
you
wanted,
actually knew what that was.
who would it be?
I forgot you a bit educated, ain't you?
Any god.
Or fictional, literal, real life, whatever you want. Like it could be anything.
Okay. I don't know. I've always been a really big fan of like Egyptian gods and Egyptian mythology. And I've been talking to my chat a lot about this, but I don't know, what they'll do with the next year of God releases. We still have to get through this year, but I would really, really like to see Sekhmet in the game. I think Sekhmet would be a really fun warrior. I could see that god in a warrior role.
Sekhmet
Yeah.
female?
I think she is. Yeah.
Well, yeah, lion.
Yeah, the lioness. I think Sekhmet would be fucking awesome. Or the Greek god of the moon, which is, oh god, why is she? I'm gonna look this up. There's a specific one, and it's a specific moon goddess. I think it's a goddess that I'm thinking of. Selene. I would like to see Selene in there. Yeah, one of those two.
Alrighty. Our next one is you have the dev's ear, and they will create a line of Smite God skins. What would the theme of those skins be? Yes.
I know it will never ever happen. But I have been dying to get like I want a Pokemon Battle Pass so bad, like Pokemon Battle Pass or like event. I've already like thought up like some of the like the god skins. Like you could have like Pikachu Ratatasker, you could have fucking Snorlax Kumbhakarna, you could have
You could have Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard,
mhm.
Fafnir.
100% you could.
That'd be sick.
There's so many Pokemon that there's so many
Yeah.
different like god skins that you could do really easily. But like, yeah, I really like Pokemon if you can't tell
So
from my Pokemon plushies.
I was all excited when Nintendo was like, "Oh, Smite's coming to the Switch," and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be sick." They're like, "There's gonna be a special Scylla skin," and I was like, "Yo, it's gonna be Princess Peach Scylla, which is kind of cool." And
Mhm.
then it was just a regular Scylla skin, and I was sad.
Yeah.
I was also like, "You could do Bowser Kuzumba," like,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Do some like Mario crossover skins.
yeah. Nintendo didn't make it happen more, and I'm sad.
Yeah.
Look,
Maybe
unless
one
they
day.
do a Wario's Jean Kui, it's a fail.
I would be about that. And then you can have Waluigi Baron. All right, I'm moving on now. This is a terrible idea. Pete Sports comes in with what's your favorite fruit and what god deserves a fruit skin?
Ooh. Okay. I really like golden kiwis. Golden kiwi specifically. Um, and I think what god deserves a fruit themed skin? Um,
That's a hard question.
I know. I'm like, what gods? When I look at them, do I think, yeah, fruity? Uh, uh, I'm gonna probably
I
have to
have an idea.
say, yeah.
Ox. You can give her one of those lady with the fruit basket.
um,
Or you could go like the sweet treat ones and like go overboard with actual fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Melon booty Capri.
Okay, yes. Give Kepri like a fruit skin. You could
Kind of
You
like
could
the
have it
decorative
be like an
watermelon
orange,
or
and
an
he could
orange.
have
yeah,
There's so
an
many
orange would
options
be
for that.
cool. Yeah, you could literally they could even do with like the color forge skins and instead of like different color themes, it's like different fruit. I don't know.
Okay,
But
I have a question
Kepri should be a fruit
regarding color
skin.
forged skins because I keep having people's opinions on this, and slowly
Mhm.
but surely, this is one of my great ideas that high res should steal. They should do this. What would you think about them getting rid of the recolor in the battle pass that they always do, and instead it be a color forged skin each time?
Oh, 100% they should do that.
Just saying, I think it'd be sick.
I think
Because
people are
then,
tired of recolors. I'm tired of
yeah,
recolors.
then we get our recolor, but like you get to dye it however you want.
Hmm.
I'm about it. I just think like I'm gonna keep saying it, and eventually, I'll convince someone that it's a good idea, and that will be good. Um, okay, Backlash wrote a statement that has no questions whatsoever. Um,
He's Canadian. He doesn't speak English.
did you read this? Because I've read it twice.
No, here,
And
I'll read it right now, though.
I mean, I'll read it, but there's no question at all.
No, I got this. Let's.
Uh,
There's the question. You ain't listening right.
I didn't listen loud enough.
Opinion. Very first fucking word is the question. Opinion.
Okay, my bad. There's no question mark in it all. My bad.
This is why you're a math teacher. Sit the fuck down. Opinions. Hey. I'm sorry, it is plural. There's an S. Opinions on a skin concept being July and midsummer. After finally being able to catch a flight down to Miami for a beach party this summer, we have the return of Chad T5 Neath making waves this summer. Donning the signature cargo shorts, Nike shoes, tank top with an upside down visor on top. Finalized with a slick set of pit vipers. When she uses her t-shirt cannon for her basics, I don't know why I said when. She uses a t-shirt cannon for her basics. 1 is a beer pong ball that shoots out. 2 is a red solo cup on the ground foaming up. 3 is a typical backflip but bursts through a folding table when she lands. 4 is a giant open t-shirt that flies out and wraps onto the enemy it hits. Her passive leaves little solo cups around the map that when the ping pong ball from the 1 hits, a big splash of beverage flies out as you sink that sweet dunk into the solo cup. It's the skin that the people don't want, but that the people deserve. He's even willing to trade old knee skins in as an incentive.
I'm behind it.
So he did go a little off the rails at the end and just threw his own little conjecture there. But opinions would be the question.
It sounds terrible in the worst way. No, sorry. It sounds terrible in the best way. I would love to hate it. Does that make sense?
Frat boy Neath. Got it.
Yeah, I don't want to see this in my games. No, that's where I'm at with that. I appreciate him thinking out a whole entire skin though.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your first time hearing the Chad T5 Neath?
No, I've heard Chad T5 Neath. I just didn't know.
Yeah, he did the full effects this time too. That was nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the full effects. Like usually it's Chad T5 Neath, and I'm like, we don't need more Neath skins. And then
he's willing to trade them in as incentive.
And then we get more Neath skins. Yeah, I heard that part, but that's not trading all of our Neath skins in.
Well, that might be a big ask. That's T5.
Yeah, I guess.
Actually, realistically, the Smite community needs to just accept that Neath needs a T5. No one wants to hear it. See, no one wants to hear it, but it's the
He has
truth.
so many skins already, though.
Because they fucking sell.
That's true. But I can name like 5 other gods I'd rather see a T5 on. And that's just me making that up now.
See, hold on. Here's my thing. Make the T5 for Neath. We all know they're going to make a fucking chunk of change off that shit. Do a little reinvestment. We'll understand. We'll understand if the next patch after that, we'll wait a month or two, and then, the return on our investment is all that we ask.
Oh my god. All right.
I know. Stu's going to get a new car instead, but whatever.
That was it for our guest questions. Fred, did you have any questions that you wanted to add on?
No, I hang out on their stream quite regularly.
Okay. I mean, that's what I figured, but I didn't want to like leave you out. That seemed like a really mean thing to do. I didn't want to be like, all right, Fro, kick rocks and then move on.
That's weird. I was about to do that to you, so why don't you ask yours?
I did. I asked mine already. It was about my Color Forge skin idea. I mean, we could talk about how do you feel about Odibo getting anti-heal on it as a glyph, because I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a wonderful idea. Mentioned 2 months ago.
I just hate ADCs right now, so like I guess I'm indifferent because I'm not going to use it anyways.
Okay, but hear me out. ADCs have not gotten a single new item this season, where every other class has, with new glyphs.
Aren't glyphs from this season?
Nope, they're last year.
Yeah,
they are, aren't they?
They just like expanded upon it this year.
Yep, except in ADC. Expanded on it everywhere else. They're just like, hey, in Venom Deathbringer, we're gonna make it like Shadow Steel Shuriken. That's good enough for you guys.
Yeah. I miss the old like crit shurikens. Those were my favorite.
I don't like the boomerang. It's fucking worthless.
The boomerang's so weird.
I hate all
because
this pick up stuff off the ground. Like,
yeah. The boomerang's weird, right? Because like the boomerang, you read it and you're like, this is an ADC item. And then you read its passive and you're like, my god, it's a jungle item. And then no one wants to build it. That's where we're at on that front. But I guess as we're wrapping up here, do you want to tell
I got some thank yous to say.
We need to tell them where to find BloopFruit, man.
But yeah, but don't we do that after?
I thought we did the thank you. We always say, where can we find you? Then we do the thank yous.
Shit, you're right.
I knew something. Anyways, BloopFruit.
Lazy Bard. Episode 120.
148.
148.
BloopFruit, do you want to let everybody know where they can find you? I'm so tempted
to just name this one BloopFruit.
Do it.
Let's do
it. And literally let's be like episode, I don't know, I think we're on like 286 or whatever. It'd be like episode 286, BloopFruit 286.
Sorry, what was the question?
Do you want to let everybody know where they can find you at?
Yeah, so y'all can check me out on Twitch. I'm on twitch.tv/BloopFruit. Again, I spelled it earlier, so I might as well spell it now, but that's Bloop, BLOOP, and then fruit. I tend to go live. My regular schedule is usually Mondays and Tuesdays from 5:30 p.m., and this is Pacific time, to 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, it's 5:30 p.m. Pacific time until about 1:30-ish in the morning Pacific time. And that's it can go later, it can end sooner. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day. And then
I forget that you're Pacific time sometimes, and I'll get up for work and I'm like, what in the fuck are they doing in their Discord still? It is
I'm like,
5 a.m. in the fucking morning. I'm like, oh yeah, it's only 1 in the morning.
Yeah, and then Twitter. Well, I guess TwitX. TweetX.
Yeah, whatever. You're still sending tweets, but they call it X. It's weird.
Yeah,
no one likes it.
No one likes it.
No one likes
it. Yeah, Twitter @BloopFruit. I make it really easy. Literally, just look me up as BloopFruit on most anything, and you'll find me. I do have a YouTube channel actually that I've been trying to grow a little bit more. Not as much Smite content on there, surprisingly. I post a lot more of like, just like old VODs. I need to get better about posting those again. And then I also do like Dead by Daylight compilations here and there. I just recently posted my 4th Dead by Daylight compilation. And so I just kind of take clips from all like my Dead by Daylight gameplays and make videos that I hope are funny. Yeah.
All right, Fro. We have some thank yous for the patrons.
Thank you to all of our wonderful patrons that help us improve this podcast. Thank you to Aereo Steel, Asbestos Dog, Bria Chia Pet, Weatherman Keith, Jade Flagon, The Big Red Baseball, Griff Bombi, Danny Boy, Caveman, Neo, Coffin Monkey, City Arlets, Gilly, Snorlax, Weatherman, Adios, Sir Ember, K-Brojo, Famous Freak, Stoffmeister, Backlash, Sadons, Dr. Godfucker, Lantern, Reese, Warlordio, Batskid, Echo Dunk, Doc, Necros, Otter Joe, Riggs, Dracon Prime, Glen Wiggle, Granite Boys, Camel Hoss, Void vs. Void, Bright, Sloppy Satch, Scion, Gemini, Batman, Sandman, Aquasoft, Kilowatt Man, I'm a Hater, Mr. Man, Colorado, Amberbug, Folk Hero, and the Big Red. Did I skip a bunch?
I don't know. You said the Big Red twice.
Did I do the K Brojo, Famous Freak, Stoffmeister, Backlash, Sadon, Dr. Godfucker, Lantern, Reese, Warlord? I don't fucking. Thank you to all of our wonderful patrons. I said it. If I didn't say it,
it'll be next week's episode.
Just yeah. And
or go back to last week.
Name, become a patron, and I will. There we go.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we should get on out of here.
We should.
Bye.
Solid.
Bye.
Blaise has stopped recording.